Welcome to PageBlast, the show that invites its audience and the fickle whims of fate to participate in the creative process. Each week your hosts, Yog and D-Man, armed only with their wits, your suggestions, and the roll of the dice will endeavour to complete for you a roughly hewn graphic narrative that is not just any random comic, PageBlast. Aha! We're back.
We're back.
With technical efforts.
We were there before, and we're back again, and we're trying to see if this is working again.
Yeah.
And I believe it is.
Hardware issues.
How are you, Yog?
I'm a little bit touch and go today. Touch and go.
Yep.
But as usual, what else would you expect?
Well, it's what it's always like, isn't it? Every time we start erratically, and then we have to sort of bring the pace down and get into it slowly, and eventually we'll get there.
Yeah. We will. Maybe when they stop updating this streaming software every week, and once all the hardware in our use is settled, I think we need a little bit of settling in our hardware.
Yeah, knuckle cracks, kicks, punches, all kinds of things. Mm-hmm. But we're there.
We are.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to get straight into it.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to randomly generate this comic right now.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Are we going to start with genre today, or location, or characters? Which one?
Let's do what we did last time, which was, I believe,
I can't remember what we did last time.
Last time we did start with the location.
Location. Okay, let's do it again.
So how many we got? We got 20.
We got 20, so we got the D20 for it.
Let's bring up a D20, and what we will choose... location for
cyberspace again. No, okay, look, we did that last week, so I might change that. I forgot to change that one.
Oh, okay.
Damn, that's 19. Jungle. Yep.
Jungle.
I'm up
excellent.
For the jungle.
Oh, thank God for the jungle.
Right.
Really happy about that. Okay, so
cool.
First of all, I'll just start drawing up a jungle frame. Oh, when I go back to our workspace, of course.
Go back to our canvas. There we are.
So we have we do have a new feature this week, which is where D-Man can bring up some reference if we need it.
Yeah.
But let's just blast ahead with a frame. And how am I going to do it today?
Well, how about I do a little bit of a test on that reference now?
All right. So,
see what I can do.
In fact, jungle's a kind of good thing where you can actually establish characters as well. So, shall we go for a character now?
I think that would be a good idea.
Because it's so enclosed, jungle, that we can actually put a character into it. We don't know the genre yet, but that's okay. I think we can hold off on that, can't we? So let's just go to the character page and a pickup character. How many we got here? 20 again. Oh, that's handy.
Yep,
that's handy. So
we've changed a couple just so we don't repeat last week.
All right. What do we got? 15.
It's a raptor.
A raptor. Oh, that's
in
cool.
the jungle.
That's good. And what else we got?
Do one more.
And a one.
And a bird.
Oh, this is awesome. That's a
bird and a raptor.
This is going to be
raptor. This is going to be a horror for sure.
Well, we don't know. Now, let's shall we pick a genre?
Let's get the genre up.
Let's get the genre already.
And if this rolls a horror, we're in for a fun night.
Oh yes. Okay, so
which is a 1 as well, but that's on a D10, so let's get that D10 happening.
We get a 10. Well, that hasn't rolled yet, so let's just go. Well,
horror. 1. A horror. Unbelievable.
Okay.
Unbelievable. That's a horror in the jungle with a bird and a raptor.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I guess we start with the bird. Let's go back to the workspace and
I will try and get some jungle reference going because I think let's see.
Okay, first thing with jungle is so get that in there.
right. I'm going to now try and drop a reference in. I don't know what's going to happen. This could this could wreck everything, but let's see. There's only one way to find out.
You tell me when that reference is up, and I'll have a little look at it. See what you found us.
I'll see.
After a panicky start, we've got some. That's a pretty miraculous result, isn't it? Really. They all fit together. Jungles, raptors, birds. Did you plan this? Did we cheat?
No, there was no cheating. I don't think we've ever cheated with something like this before. Let me just see now.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, I don't know if that reference is going to work, but we may as well give it a shot. I think it's ready. It may not.
Oh, okay, let's have a look. Why is my... Let's do this. Brightness. There we go. Let's have a look. Reference. And where is the reference? Here it is. Let's have a look. Oh no, that's not the reference. That's a big splash.
No, that's a big splat of lava. A blood lava of some kind. There we go.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I see. Right.
Maybe some overgrown vines, a bit of yeah. I think you got the right idea.
Maybe the reference could be a bit bigger.
Yeah, we can drag it a bit. Get a good size on it temporarily, and then find it, I guess.
Oh, we'll leave it up there for fun. Just
sure.
And I'll just keep drawing in here. We'll get something happening. It's not really dark enough, is it? Let's use this color. Oh, you know what I've done? So
you can see how nice and effective these shadows are, aren't they? So you got your foreground, and you start giving it some shade. Do you normally leave... You could leave this for last, right? Like shadows and shading.
Oh, yeah. We could just go
but
without
it can also
altogether.
be done real time, obviously, as you can see.
So what's this bird all about? What do we know about this bird?
Okay.
What do you think?
Well,
what's your thoughts?
in the jungle.
What's your thoughts on the bird?
I think the bird is, quite frankly, happy to be there. This is what the bird calls home. Don't know what type of bird yet.
You know what could be good?
A bird reference?
A chicken? No, we had a chicken.
Do you want to add a chicken? Well, chicken's in the list, I think.
That chicken is the bird.
Oh, the chicken was the bird, yeah, okay. I think we had that, didn't we? Oh, okay, maybe it didn't refresh.
Because if we think about it, we're going to have a problem if the raptor is stalking a bird that can fly away.
That's right. Well, it's the jungle's pretty thick and the canopy's pretty... Maybe the bird probably can't see the raptor coming. That's why we've got a horror genre going right now. Might get that bird to...
Oh, hang on.
Be minding its own business for the time being.
I've just thought of something interesting here.
Right.
What is the raptor's worst nightmare?
I don't know, actually. I haven't seen Jurassic Park for a while, so...
It's what it hasn't evolved into yet. So let's think about it. The raptor is afraid of birds.
Is it?
The birds are pretty much the only thing that could take out a raptor. If we think about it, they could,
they could pick its eyes out.
They could swarm on the raptor. So we could start with the raptor, and make the raptor our sympathetic character.
The raptor's going to be the victim. That's what you're suggesting, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's twist it. I mean, the dice made it too easy. So,
yeah, it did. It did. All right. So let's have a humble raptor doing the business a raptor does in the jungle.
well, he's off looking to terrorize, right? So this is it, like horror stories are like this, aren't they? They pick on someone who doesn't expect, their whether it be your nuclear family and having their innocent camping holiday, or a raptor.
A raptor in the jungle having its little holiday.
He's off hunting for eggs. Hang on a second. Because
okay.
that's what they would be into, isn't it? Raptors.
Well, they eat everything.
They particularly like eggs. Were you a bit of a dinosaur kid? Were you ever into the dinosaurs?
Sort of. Yeah. I mean, everyone loves the Tyrannosaurus, and I think I was a bit more lazy, and I was into the Diplodocus. Was it called a Diplodocus?
Yeah, the Diplodocus or Diplodocus.
Diplodocus, yeah, a Diplodocus. I actually like them because they're quite,
Long.
awesomely huge and massive. I think it's because they're the biggest, and I thought, oh wow, well, these things should be the kings of, that age. But no, the raptors were far more awesome.
Now I'm sort of fussing with this drawing too much. We got to get this finished.
All right.
That is lame.
We'll
come back to it.
We'll
come back to it. We're doing all right?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. We certainly are.
Oh, it's a bit hot today. Okay, I'm not really... I'm hating this, actually. Hating this. Hating this drawing. Let's do it again. Let's do this properly. Let's get some personality into this thing. So, doing this without reference.
I'll get that reference. Don't worry.
No, that's okay. No, I just thought of it then, but I think I know my raptors. I'll give it some stripes. Yeah, I used to love the old dinosaurs when I was a kid. Actually, I never really grew out of it.
Yeah, right.
Truth. That
Fantastic.
looks a little bit serious. That one, we'll give it this will make it a little bit more raptory. Give it feathers on its
Don't know what this is going to do, but there you go. Where's a little refresh?
Oh, okay. Hang on. I forgot to close it down, and then that's okay. Oh.
No, it didn't refresh. Okay. Oh, maybe it will. It's not refreshing. Okay, fair enough.
It's not refreshing, and I seem to have the frame in the wrong place, so that's just all a bit odd, really. I don't quite understand what's going on, of course. I think it's this OBS software. They changed it this week. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there we go. I think a little bit off there, but plus the alpha didn't come through. But anyway,
that's okay.
Maybe it wasn't an alpha. Maybe I should check that. No, it wasn't. All right.
That's
I'll see if I can update it. Okay.
They've updated the software, and I think it's done us all a disservice.
It's always updating. We have to keep up with it. Not much we can do if they're making things better. But it would be nice to
test it before releasing it onto
test it extensively. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what we're doing.
Okay. So,
Just
what's he gonna?
find
I'm
this
gonna
other
do.
reference here.
I'm gonna have him come across some eggs here. I think.
I really am not sure if this is going to work, but I'm going to give it a go. Another bit of reference. Nah, see, JPEGs don't have a chroma, do they? It needs to be a PNG.
Oh, it doesn't matter about that at all. It doesn't matter.
Okay, all right. But it'd be funny if we could get that happen. Let's see if we can get it happening. Let's try.
Okay, so what's happening in the story? We've got
Well, we've got this innocent raptor, this poor raptor, that's about to be harassed. But it needs to trigger the harassment. It can't just be harassed for no reason, right?
Mm-hmm. So, here we go. Let's come across some eggs here. This is gonna be what causes his problems. Very simple. It's oh, hang on. It should be up a tree or something. Let's move this one down, and I'll have him go on a bit of an adventure up this tree.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here we go. I think I may have found us a really cool little reference. I think. I could be wrong. Okay. All right. Let's see if that works. I'm not sure if it will.
Okay.
That's a reference for you right there. Not that one. It should refresh, yeah.
Yeah. Who knows what's going on with the... Oh! Well,
it actually brought over the Chrome.
Oh, it's going to...
Alpha over.
Oh, it's going to do that, so...
okay.
Because, yeah. Because it's not actually...
Because we're not in the super echelon level of tech with what we're doing.
No, it's not going to work like that, unfortunately for us.
It's a pretty cool raptor, though.
That is. That's the one from one of the Jurassic Park movies, clearly.
Yeah.
Designed by what's Crash McCreary?
Yeah, right. Is that one of?
That's the
designs. I think it might be. I pulled it off a clip art site. Velociraptor Primal Carnage. There you go. That's what the clip art is.
And I have this little guy, this innocent, poor little creature. Well, he's just your regular old average Joe, isn't he? This guy.
He is.
I guess that's the what's going on here. Is he's your average Joe in the jungle, and he's going to have something. What's going to be the twist that makes this little bird that so devastating?
Well, is the raptor going to go for some food?
Yes, he's going to find this nest here. See this nest down here? But I'm just going to have him jump up and go up the tree, He can fall out of a tree, and he'd probably be pretty good falling out of a tree, but let's have him jump up into this, something like
Right, yeah. Now, in terms of drawing like a guide ragdoll, how often do you do that, Yog? Every now and then I've noticed that you
I use a stick
tend
figure.
to sneak a little bit of a skeleton thing in there, but
look, normally if you're drawing seriously, you do all your construction, but this is not serious. No, I'm just trying to get the effect as quick as possible, and so normally you would do
we're
some
still good for time.
construction lines and stuff like that. So this time I'm just sort of winging it.
Sure, and you can pull that Velociraptor out of there if you need some room.
So he's going up into the trees here.
As in, pull that reference out whenever you're ready.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot that it was up there.
No, that's fine. You can still stay there if you need it, but it never hurts to have a reference, does it?
It's funny, the animations seem to have been a bit broke. So watch if I do it again. See, look at that. It's not animated. It's strange.
That is... There's always something strange going on.
There is something strange.
Multiple widgets, multiple little switching and technique.
Yeah, let's see if I fixed it. No.
Actually, you know what we forgot to do, because we're always excited about this stuff.
Yeah.
And we always dive into it without a care in the world. That animation worked then, didn't it? Right. We didn't actually roll for our first act of the story.
That's right. We don't. So
that could possibly help us in
on this last frame.
Yeah.
Let's roll for it.
This is what happens. You get a bit excited. You get straight into it.
13. 13. I've got to have a 13-sided. Here we go. What is
you need a 13-sided die?
And let's roll it. 8.
8. Joy.
Well,
the raptor's enjoying himself.
Yeah, he's found his.
It's a joyful moment. That's going to change, though.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yes. On the next page, on the very next page. So he's found.
So we can switch back now to our canvas.
Well, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. It's a free-for-all. There's velociraptors everywhere.
All right, so in fact, this could, as we're making this up on the fly, and that's not a bird joke, by the way, that's just an unfortunate accident. We could have, this could actually be the velociraptor's nest.
Okay.
And they could even put them up. And maybe, in fact, the birds are after the eggs. What do you think?
The bird's going to go after the eggs now?
Yeah, well, these could be the velociraptor's eggs instead of the bird's eggs.
Okay, so we're doing another flip?
We're doing another flip here.
All right.
Because Average Joe turns out to be an Average Joanne.
Okay.
That's a cool name for a...
Joanne the Velociraptor?
Yes. A deadly killer lizard. Well, they are birds themselves.
And they need, I think, the male and the female raptors, I think, just noting here, the males are bigger than the females.
Okay.
But one of them's deadlier than the other.
But not to quibble about, because,
males are larger than females.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just a female velociraptor. Actually, velociraptors themselves are actually not very big. The dinosaurs that they have in those films aren't actually velociraptors. They just no. They just used it because it's a cool name. It's just a cool sounding. They are, if I can remember, something more like a one called a Deinonychus.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, just take my word for it.
I will.
I may not have pronounced that accurately, and I may be just making stuff up. So, yeah.
It's got a lot of names actually.
Velociraptors are actually, now I'm thinking about it, are quite sort of skinny and light, more like, more bird-like, in fact.
Yeah. It's in the family of Dromaeosauridae. I wonder if that's how it's pronounced. But it's all good in our case.
Dromeo,
we just need...
Did you say? Dromeo?
Dromaeosauridae family.
Right.
Subfamilies Velociraptorinae.
Right. Maybe that's what she's thinking in the first panel. Dromeo. Where?
Oh God.
Oh.
Okay.
No, that. Let's forget that. Wipe that moment. Okay. Next frame. So, this is a joyful frame. We've had a joyful. Let's hatch this egg.
Yeah. Let's hatch the egg, and we'll be right on time.
This is a joyful moment here. Great.
Joy is taken care of in the genre. In the story.
Oops.
And we'll see what happens for our middle.
Yes. This is all being watched, I guess, from up in the treetops.
Yep.
There could be a bird of some type.
Yeah, we haven't figured out what our bird thing is yet, have we? Our other character. Our vicious, murdering, hellspawn birdie.
Yeah. Parrot. I mean, some birds are just vicious. Like those minor birds, they're just horrible, horrible creatures.
They are. Yeah, I was attacked by a few of them.
Really?
Yep. On the way to work, had one swoop on me and actually ripped a hole in the side of my face. It was incredible.
Really?
Yep. Went to work bleeding that day.
No
thought,
way.
This is actually not a good place to show up with this big slice on your cheek. Everyone's obviously asking what the hell happened, you know. I explained it to them, and
they didn't believe you. They just went, no.
Well, they thought,
D-man,
some of them.
You're a rough sort, aren't you?
Some of them thought I got into a fight, and I was like, no, you can't fight minor birds. They're just too good. You just gotta dodge them. You gotta get away from them.
I've seen them fighting each other. I've seen them brawling. You know, I have.
That would be awesome.
I have. I was in.
They go berserk, don't they? They're very weird.
I was in Sydney when I lived there, and it was in Redfern, and I've seen some brawls around there, but this was the roughest. Minor bird battle. Yes.
The minor bird UFC. That happens. They are dreadful birds, aren't they? I mean,
yeah. So it was the not the grey one. It was the nasty ones, right?
The one with the yellow beak.
Yeah, that pecks the eyes out of anything that it can find. Yeah, they're horrible creatures.
Yeah, I think that's the one that swooped me and cut me.
Right. Okay, this is all very civilized. This nice little story about dinosaurs. Okay. Yes.
That's joy. It's a joyful first page.
Yes, it is.
Velociraptor through the jungle, walks past, goes up to the nest, that we assume belongs to the Velociraptor, and guess who pops out of the egg? A baby Velociraptor.
That's right. I'm just going to put some nice little sun in here, some stuff.
Some rays.
Yeah.
Some God rays through the canopy. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Where's that? Not. There you go. And then we'll move on. So now we've got to find out is...
we roll the story for page 2.
Mm-hmm.
A middle. And we do still have a little bird in our repertoire ready to come out at some point.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what the story dictates from the dice roll.
I seem to have some... I really have to get my graphics card working again, because did you see that just appeared there in the drawing? I drew that. Yeah, I drew that.
Oh, you mean that big blotch in the top there?
Yeah, I drew that quite some time ago, I'll have you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's remembered.
No, what's happening here is that the computer is struggling because it's doing everything with the CPU instead.
We've definitely did a bit of a mod though, didn't we?
Yeah.
To the system.
Yes, a desperate last minute hardware hack. But at least we have something happening. Okay. Next page. Page 2.
Page.
So
page 2, blank canvas. Let's go to the story. Let's go for a middle, and it's a D13 again.
Right. 13. 6.
More joy? Nah, 6. Loss. Oh. All right. Loss it is.
Wow. Okay, so that's by the end of this page. So.
By the end of this page, exactly.
Yes. And I should go back to the actual page. And here we go. Here we go.
Right, so do we highlight our bird at some point?
This is what I think we do now.
Okay. It's a nice big frame.
It is. It's very big. Maybe I should go about here.
A big frame would usually emphasize some kind of incredibly important factor of a scene.
Well, I guess because I'm going to divide it up here and put some kind of, I don't know what I'm talking about, bromeliad there. Just making stuff up. Okay.
Obviously high up in the trees, we're getting a bird's eye view, so to speak.
Okay. Is that the best angle for that? Okay, I'm going to bring this one down. I was going to do this, but then if I put the bird up here...
Once again, got to highlight Clip Studio as an absolute masterful piece of software.
It's good. It's great for this, doing all the frames so quickly and easily. What kind of bird could this be? It's going to be something kind of a bit. Well, it's prehistoric for starters.
It's a prehistoric bird, isn't it? It could be the long lost ancestor of the minor bird. It's a nice big sharp beak that's a bit over exaggerated. Yeah.
I think the long lost ancestor of the minor bird would be the Arsaholopteryx, wouldn't it? Oh,
I actually don't even know what a minor bird's called in the world at the moment.
We only know it
here to be a minor bird.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think it's called. I mean, there's a proper. It's got a proper, like, birdie kind of name. See if I can get a reference.
I'm going to do something nasty looking with this bird.
It's actually called a common myna. M-Y-N-A.
Mm-hmm.
There are some hilarious pictures of them. Vicious little freaks. All right, I just found the most absurd myna bird picture.
Oh yeah. Shall I? Are you going to share it?
I will in one moment. I'll get him ready.
Okay, so there's our that, and then down below is the loving and gentle.
This is well and truly the most perfect picture of a myna bird ever. Just the way it's presented, the way it's strutting. It's ready when you're ready.
Oh
no, that's still the. It hasn't refreshed actually. Sorry, I should have allowed it to refresh. So give it another few seconds, and I think it'll be ready. No, maybe another 20 seconds. Oh dear. All this caching, all this strangeness.
Why will
Thank you, OBS. Thank you.
Who knows what's going on?
I don't know. I think it's going to work. It has to work, surely. Unless it's maybe the picture's too full on. I think it's too high res. I might have plonked something in. It's a little bit too wild.
Next week we'll get this computer working a bit better. I am asking quite a lot of the little.
Actually, yeah, that. I think I dropped in something that was a little bit too powerful. Let's see if I can.
You wouldn't have thought that would be an issue, but yeah. So we don't have much of. Normally we have much more of a story situation going on. Now it's more more of a nature kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
It's all right though.
That's right.
A little bit more of a relaxed.
We've got animals.
More relaxed
situations.
Pace.
It's all the same.
More relaxed pace than normal. When we were panicking about how we're going to fix the story with the robot and the monkey,
that's right,
who are having a gunfight for some reason, you know.
Yeah. After that, I'm pretty sure I can get hit with any dice roll. All right. So, in a moment, we'll be able to reference this myna bird. Oh, there it is. So that was automatic.
Oh. It just appeared.
Look at it. Look at it. It thinks it's completely better than everything.
Yeah, those things. Look at it strutting around.
That ridiculous creature ripped a hole in the side of my face. I couldn't believe it.
Look at it. You know what it's doing? It's goose.
It's being tough. It's basically trying to say this, that you can't. You know. This is me.
It's goose stepping.
It is. They are just. They may look a bit cute and funny, and until they rip a hole in the side of your face. Took a while to heal too.
I never heard of that before. That's quite astounding. I mean, an eagle, yeah, because they're only little things, aren't they?
These things, yeah, they're not that big.
Eagles, sure, but you never know what's going to attack you, though.
Yeah, so I gather if we're going to draw its ancestor here, which we're sort of doing, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm going to give it one of these just to give it some personality.
Yeah. That's it. Maybe that pattern on the eye looks like a flaming head. I mean, that's exactly what they are. They're just fiery little phoenixy things. vicious, in for the kill, attacking cats, attacking dogs in the street. So by the end of this page, we're going to have to deal with loss at some point.
Oh, is that what we got?
That's what we've got. I'm pretty sure we got loss.
We rolled that, did we? I'm going to get rid of
that
we
rolled
ugly,
6. That's correct.
Ugly minor bird. Go off you go.
That's right.
Back again one more time. Well, there you
go. Hey, look at that. Good.
Okay. So we didn't really say what exactly is going to happen. Well, I mean, we've got plenty of time to randomly just take this off in a completely different direction again. I mean,
sure.
What's to say that we have to stick to exactly what we've been talking about? There's no reason.
Well, we still have to deal with loss, right? We're not going to break that rule, but we can break the way we get to it.
Yeah, and we still have got these frames that mean, if we have a look, all we've got is a raptor, an egg, a baby raptor, and a bird.
And the bird doesn't appear until there.
Yeah, a lot of establishing, so we could still go back to the old idea and have, it could work out very badly for the bird.
Okay, yeah, yep. We started off with raptor hunting bird, then bird hunting raptor, and we'll have to just see what happens, eh?
Yeah, let's just go with the flow. I'm gonna have the raptor is gonna take off for a second.
Yeah.
Although I forgot one thing here. Where's that little one here?
I guess it could be distracted by something.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Also, it goes for
another minor bird, perhaps. They're teaming up.
Oh, that's a good idea. That is right. That's exactly what they do.
Raptors do that as well,
yes.
Like in Jurassic Park. But maybe we can give them a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah.
Because we've had experience with these birds. Some of us have, anyway.
Well, yeah. I've had more cute interactions with more cute birds. I was walking one day and I heard this little beep coming from this bush, and I've looked and there's this. I mean, you know how common lorikeets are, and they're everywhere, and they're just awesome creatures. They normally come in your kitchen window and eat from your sugar bowl or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get them on my balcony all the time.
Yeah, right. But this one was in the bush, and it had sort of come out of the bush and was kind of making some kind of noise at me. It's like trying to get my attention. And kind of like, it was right there, right at, sort of face height, a little bit lower. G'day. What are you doing? And it kind of just walked out on the little branch towards me, and I thought, this is dangerous, because have you ever been bitten by a parrot?
Bitten by a parrot? Yes, I have.
That really can really hurt, because they've got some chew on them, But so
they absolutely.
Oh man. I've been bitten by a cockatoo.
Like I gather on the finger when you go to tickle its neck or something.
But this lorikeet, I did the same thing, and it actually just kind of gently kind of gnawed at the finger without any kind of nastiness or anything. It was just like tasting, see what the human was all about. It was very, very charming little interaction.
Well, my mate had a cockatoo and he got it to sit on my shoulder, and I thought it was quite funny until it headbutted me.
Oh, really?
These are violent creatures, man. You don't have to do anything to get them all triggered, and they just, this one headbutted me, the minor bird ripped a hole in the side of I don't know, I'm just not good with the birds, man.
No, it sounds, maybe, that's weird. Maybe they can tell that, you're from, your health.
Maybe there's something sinister going on deep in my soul.
Yep.
doesn't work with the birds.
This
Actually,
is a true story.
I got to admit.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
This is a true story. I once was in the garden, and there was a cockatoo came waddling down the hill, and it looked really kind of in a bad way. I gotta say, really bad way. And I brought a saucer of water for it, and some, I think it was nuts I gave it. It just finished all the water, and then when it had finished the water, I got it another one because it was hot, and I thought maybe why is it walking around like this in the garden so weirdly? I got it another saucer of water, and it grabbed it with its little claw and pushed it away. Like, no, that's enough, thanks, mate. You know, what? Like, really? That's just weird. And then I went inside, and you know what it did? It put out its wings, like, and waddled inside with its wings out and went, "Hello!"
No way. There you go.
I promise you, that's exactly what happened.
That's awesome.
And then
that's better than being headbutted by one, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, so I've got a little bit more of a, different kind of kind of situation with the birds. They kind of tend to, like me when they're not actually biting me. Although that one did actually bite me later down the track because I looked after it for a while. But it's a long story. Won't go into it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We've all got bird stories. There's a story everywhere.
Yeah.
I think I recall my mum once bought me some Rosella soup. And I actually thought that was what Rosella's tasted like. But it was Rosella tomato soup, but they always made sure that the Rosella bird was dominant on its logo. And as a kid, you just think, oh, cool, that's some kind of bird soup. And that's what they were.
For those overseas who've no idea what the D-Man is talking about, a Rosella is two things at the same time. A Rosella is a type of parrot, which is a brightly coloured parrot and a bit shy, a bit of a shy parrot actually, aren't they? But they're very beautiful, and it's also a type of tomato sauce and soup. But it's not made out of parrot. It's normally made out of tomatoes because they're red. They're red parrots.
Well, exactly. I'll even give you a little example.
For those who've never seen a Rosella.
This probably won't work, but we'll give it a shot.
Okay, so here comes the bird swoop past, and I'm gonna just do a bit of a claw here. Yeah. Should have had that mouth open, really, shouldn't I? This was a little bit not dramatic enough, really. Might merge these two. Merge! Looks a bit like a Komodo dragon or something, doesn't it?
That's looking okay to me. They've sort of got a similar lizardy kind of dinosaur-y feature happening.
Actually, it looks like a bit like a parenti.
Right.
There's something else, people might not know of if they're not Aussies.
Yeah.
Parenti. Okay, so I'm going to put a little claw on the end there.
I was just about to say, a little claws on the edges there of the wings would be awesome.
And then a bit of and a bit of that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Just so we know that it was coming down and kind of harassing the poor innocent
Velociraptor.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to mind their own business as well until someone becomes part of their business.
You're talking about Rosella's, aren't you?
I'm talking about the Velociraptor, but if you really want to see what Rosella's soup is, I'll put that in our
okay, which has both
in our reference.
which has both the parrot and the soup.
There it is.
Parrot and soup. Wow. Thank you for that, D-Man. I feel so much...
Well, see, I guess the PNGs do make a difference with the background a bit, but when they're an alpha. But anyway, that's the delicious soup.
Yes.
Right there. Which no longer exists. I don't think we can get it anymore, can we? I haven't seen one in the markets for a while.
That looks like a very old-fashioned
it does.
can.
It does. Yeah. That's a very old one, actually. There's different ones, but
do they still make
pretty delicious?
The sauce? I'm sure they still make the sauce.
Oh yeah. Well, as a kid, I thought I was eating parrot soup,
which wouldn't be
I
much
guess
of,
my
wouldn't be much of a meal.
Too, and she thought it'd be funny to tell me, to not tell me that wasn't the case, but.
Okay. Next frame. We got 2 more frames to go.
Two more, you think?
Well, for the end of this page.
Yeah. Okay. Still dealing with loss, so at some point maybe the egg can be stolen by his mate.
I keep doing that, don't I? It looks kind of good though, doesn't it?
A white border instead of a black one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Excuse
me. That can be done. That's allowed, isn't it? There's no particular rule. Just depends on your palette, what you've got. I guess this is the style that we've got here. The Yog style.
It's I'm gonna do a little bit of a rough on this one.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna have the Velociraptor take off after the bird.
Yeah, okay. It's certainly drawn his attention.
Yeah, Joanne's not very happy about that.
No.
Make that a little bit bigger. Just construction, like doing it properly. So it's more like a nature story. This I mean, it is a nature story, isn't it? It's nothing like the weird and wacky underwater gangster story.
All the wacky die rolls we've been having before.
Yeah.
This is a bit more basic, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's still exciting. Once you put pictures and images down to ideas, then things start to really liven up. No matter how complicated or basic it is, there's always something to appreciate in the end.
I want it to look like this one's really... It's not really fitting in the frame, is it, D-Man?
No, you can always drag it back to the right. There we go.
Okay. That'll have to do. It looks a bit goofy.
Would you like another reference of it running away?
No, I got these Velociraptors. Okay. I got them. That's cool. Thank you, though. Ah, it's fun drawing dinosaurs. I haven't done dino drawing for that long.
Well, let's admit it, they are awesome creatures, aren't they? Absolutely phenomenal creatures.
Well, they were.
They were.
Now,
they still are.
Now, not so much.
Well, you know, they're just amazing. Amazing creatures. I mean, they're just beautiful, and I wouldn't mind if they were still around, to be honest.
That would be pretty cool. I think there could be some in the neck of the woods where I am at the moment.
Right. You've been hearing some things in the middle of the night?
You know, you'd think you would. You'd think you would round here, but not recently. No. I think progress. The humans have come in too much here, and the creatures that used to scream in the night just ain't around anymore.
We do have different kinds of creatures that scream in the middle of the night, but they're not dinosaurs. They're not animals. How about you pop up that reference, because I want to see what that looks like.
Okay. Yeah, where I am, there used to be, in fact, right here, even last year, used to be covered. My lawn used to be covered in what I call hoppities, creatures that hop and jump around, and you'd come up the driveway and they'd be everywhere. But now they all gone. You know what got them? Cats.
Oh, of course.
But not because they'd actually eat them, because they wouldn't be able to take on these big hoppities at all. They have this disease called what's this? Oh, that's another Jurassic Park one. That one. That's from
beautiful, isn't it? I love that blue thingy on its back.
I think that's from number 3.
Right.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, they have this disease called... Oh, God, I can't remember what it's called. But it gets in the soil. And then... whoops. And then they just die. They go all... They act really strange, and they hop around your doorstep, and they're places where they shouldn't be, and then they're just dead, and they all died in like a week.
Wow.
Yep. And there's like 2 or 3. We do have some cool bandicoots. I haven't seen too many of them but I can see their evidence. They've got the bandicoots here are the eastern barred bandicoot, right?
Oh, okay.
They're not.
They're cool.
They're not your regular kind of just grey ratty looking things.
They're quite small too, aren't they?
They're small, but
they're rat-like size.
Big, but they look much. They're a bit bigger than a rat, actually, and they are. They've got these cool stripes on them. If you check out what an eastern barred bandicoot looks like, it's and quolls. I do see quolls, and you can see them even in the daylight sometimes, just around the corner.
An eastern bar, oh yeah, eastern barred bandicoots. Let's whack one up, shall we? Whilst we're on the topic of bandicoots, somehow.
And quolls, they're pretty prehistoric. You can get them around here. Right? But you don't really hear them at night, although you should do. And very, very close to here, you get devils too. But you know what? I actually have not seen one since I've been here. I've heard one under the floorboards at my friend's house.
Okay.
They used to feed it and stuff when it got sick or something. Okay.
So I've whacked a bandicoot into our...
Well, I should report you for that.
into our reference.
That's
That's not the bandicoot. And that's still not the bandicoot. I wonder why he's not appearing. Maybe I haven't refreshed him properly again. Or quite possibly it's going to be one of those files. Oh well, that's okay. We got one more frame to go on this page. We should probably focus on that.
Yes.
And we are dealing with loss still, so...
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Loss. There we go, there's the bandicoot. Oh my God.
And he disappeared.
That's alright.
Oh, that's funny, isn't it? Okay. But now the bird comes to take it.
Yep.
So we're gonna have to get some more music.
Yeah.
I've heard this one enough times, I think.
That's true. We'll have some more by next week, I think.
Okay. I haven't really set this up properly, have I?
Well, we do have the raptor running off. We know that it's chasing the prehistoric miner. And there's a very vulnerable little baby raptor right there now, ready to be taken.
I know, but I've just kind of spoilt this moment. So I'm going to have to take this one out of here.
All right, and put it in there.
Yes.
Okay.
Because otherwise, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? In fact,
I think so.
I can merge, and I might actually bring these back, and then tell just more of that particular story here, right?
Well, a big cheer to Ninja Arts, who's just jumped in to say g'day.
G'day, Ninja.
From LA.
G'day
to our friends in LA.
Sure. So,
yes, it is good to get the voice working on the ports, isn't it?
The voice on the ports.
Yeah.
What are you talking about there, D-Man?
I don't know. I can't remember. It's all a big mist. A mist in the mind.
So for those who just turned up, so a little bit of a recap. We rolled. What did we roll? We rolled. We rolled a raptor.
Rolled a couple of characters, didn't we?
We rolled a jungle. We rolled jungle.
Rolled a jungle for a location. We rolled a raptor for a creature and a bird. Quote unquote. We didn't know what to make the bird until shortly thereafter. And story-wise, we rolled
Joy. We rolled Joy
for the first page. We've got loss for the second page, which we're about to deal with, and we don't know what's going to happen on the third page. But we did roll the horror genre. So it's horror in the jungle.
It is horror. We forgot all about that. It's not very horrible.
Horror in the jungle.
It's not very horrible yet. This page has to bring the horror. This frame. We're bringing the horror right here. Okay.
Okay.
So.
Well, we can bring the horror in at any time. We know that this is going to be horrific.
Okay. All right.
But I think this one just needs to deal with loss still. If we can nail loss right now, we're on the ball.
Okay. Yeah.
On a roll, on the ball. In the park, out of the park, however you like to call it.
Mm-hmm. The park?
The park?
The park.
The jungle?
Oh. What happened?
That was a flip screen.
That's good to check sometimes if your drawing's any good, but we don't check these things in PageBlast. No, we just fire ahead.
That's right.
So I'm going to just put them in the background so we can see that that's still happening.
Yeah, he's just running around in circles chasing it in the background, is he?
Yeah.
She.
That's right.
Excellent.
But in the, I mean,
that's
that's a bit comical. But in the foreground here,
yeah, I was
comedy,
thinking that,
but comedy and horror. I think they. I mean, people argue about this.
Can add to the excitement.
People argue about this, but in my opinion, comedy and horror are almost exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I would sort of agree, depending on what matchup of genres you're trying to do. I don't find Hellraiser funny.
No, but I do find
Evil Dead 3 funny.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Horror is not comedy, and comedy is not horror, but they are very, very close to each other. Because how easy would it be to turn Hellraiser into comedy?
You could turn all of them into comedy if you did certain techniques. I guess if you did voice overdubs would be the one way to do it. And horrifically bad. Well, I wouldn't say horrifically bad. I'd probably do the reverse of that. Incredibly well done editing could probably do it too. But timing, comedy's all about timing. It's all about wit. And yeah, sure, why not? I'm sure if someone had all the rushes for Hellraiser, they could come up with something. But I think it would need a little bit of ADR and overdubbing to make it work in that manner that I believe you're suggesting. But
I'm not talking about the same footage. I'm talking about the idea. You got the story, and you've got situations, right? Anyway, Hellraiser's a pretty good one, just pure horror. But I just think the situations in horror can be pretty comical.
Well, recently they had a screening of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like an anniversary screening at a cinema here in Sydney, Australia, and a lot of young'uns showed up to see what the fuss is about, because a lot of them haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And a couple of our friends went to it. I didn't actually go to it, but a couple of friends of ours did, and they came back saying that people were laughing in the cinema.
Right.
And I could see how that's possible in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because it could be nervous laughter, or it could be actually funny, depending on what the mood is. I mean, there are some amazing scenes that depending on how you're receiving them, could possibly come across a bit comical. I mean, the Sawyer family, for example, they're demented, and some people find that kind of thing funny. Mm-hmm. I didn't laugh when I first saw it.
No.
But it just depends. It depends on the mood. Like, if you're with a bunch of friends and everyone's having a lot of fun, yeah, why not? I could probably laugh my head off too if something was funny enough.
Yeah. Also, back in the day, VHS had a horror all of its own. Just seeing something in VHS made it look kind of creepy and dirty, and the low res, and the it kind of had an almost non-professional kind of vibe to it.
A lot of it did,
and then it sort of descended into, you weren't expecting it to actually have those kind of production values, I guess. But these days, everything has to have production value, and I guess if you were a millennial, you'd be going, this is rubbish.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened at the Texas Chainsaw Massacre screening, but not everybody. It wasn't everyone. It was just a few people, though.
But also just the idea of a guy running around with someone's face, you know.
So you just
say
you can
that.
pitch it to be a comedy. There's no doubt about it, but it's still the way you present it on screen and the way you present it in that sense can be a major difference.
That's right. That's what I'm thinking though. That because they can be so close. That all it just the delivery and this idea. It's all in the delivery, right?
Exactly.
It's all in the delivery.
Look, I think, after seeing Nightmare on Elm Street when I was a kid, the first one was absolutely phenomenal. One of my favorite horror movies ever. And then the rest of them just became rock and roll action films.
Yeah, right.
They had some cool horror elements, but they just weren't frightening. I just found them, I just found Freddy Krueger to be one of the, biggest show-offs in the history of horror. But I loved him. However, that first one was just, there was darkness there that I never thought was possible. I watched so many of those horror films as a kid, and when that one came along, it was like, what? This is just genius. This freaked everyone out at the cinema. People were just getting up and leaving and everything.
Yeah, really.
Not because they didn't like the film. It's because they were scared. They were genuinely scared, and then Freddy became a phenomenon. But that's just so weird to me because the rest of those films, from number 2 all the way onwards to the final one, which I think they got up to 8 of them or something. I should know. I should know off the top of my head. Actually, I'm a bit embarrassed about that, but nevertheless, they were all just. I found a lot of those to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
His one-liners, the ridiculous deaths that were occurring throughout the whole series. It was just all fun and games at that point for me.
Yeah, I think they were meant to be. They were meant to be funny, though, weren't they?
I don't know. I guess so. Maybe. They were always classed as horror films, but
that's
the reason why I thought they were great, though, because they did bring elements of fantasy as well, and not many people were crossing much of the horror fantasy thing around that time. Everyone was just pure straight horror, terror, horror. That darkness, that Michael Myers Halloween stuff was always, dark, and Jason, like Friday the 13th stuff was comedy, I have to admit.
See,
I'll admit that got to comedy. That turned into comedy. That was like, it was sickening because, as kids, you're rooting for Jason to murder these teenagers at Camp Crystal Lake, and you want him to do it. You just want him to. You can't wait for it. It's like, that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting to see the kills. I mean, that's just the inner demon in all of us. But,
well, yes. You just said it. The inner D-man. D-man, you're a special kind of guy.
Well, I do my best.
You weren't hoping that they didn't die? No, some of them were. It was a setup
exactly that they would, and I was hoping that they'd die in the most vicious way possible, and then I'd have a reason to keep loving Tom Savini and all of his mates that he got nurtured into that industry of incredible practical makeup effects. But
was that Tom Savini in those Halloween movies?
In the first one, I believe,
okay.
And many more around that time too.
Okay, so we've had eggs. We've got innocent raptor with the eggs, a clutch of eggs, and a cute little raptor chick, and then the evil bird comes to ruin her day, but she chases it off. But meanwhile, in the foreground, we've got some horror happening here. Hang on, this isn't horror. No, it's not. Now it's horror.
Well, we've still got time to make the whole thing fit in the horror sense, so we're good. I think you got Lost taken care of in that second page, which is perfect. We're on the right path.
All right, so I'm going to just do an arbitrary frame here because of no reason. And then we'll. What are we going to do? We're going to roll something, shall we?
Going to roll story table for page 3.
All right, and how many? We've got 13 again. Okay, so
D13 comes up with
7.
War. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's war.
I would absolutely agree with that. The Velociraptors just found out that a minor bird, a prehistoric minor bird, stolen its child. Yeah.
But
War, all right.
it can just fly away. We've really made ourselves a bit of a conundrum here.
That's what it's about. I think you can do it.
I know.
War, page 3. We got horror, and we've got war. We've got the Velociraptor, and we've got a prehistoric minor bird. At least we think that's what it is.
So I guess just have. Oh, we've got wrap it all up as well.
Mm-hmm.
We can.
Yep.
So it ends in war. This is the end. This war. That's quite a problem, isn't it? We've started off well and ended up in a corner. Normally we start off badly and work our way out of the corner, but this time, anyway, what have we got on the last frame? We got that. So I'm going to have this victory kind of moment here, this horrible victory, where the bird is going to do this thing.
All right, and we could get the canvas up again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I forget to draw?
That's all right.
I've been drawing, and here we go.
Drawing and brainstorming.
And you've been completely left out. I'd be putting that.
It was
on
partially
the
my
screen.
fault then. I was a bit distracted, but we're back on track. So
No. I've got the screen on the wrong screen. Really, I should be having the screen that tells me what you guys can all see. I should have that on this big one in front of me, and not the little one that's kind of tucked away.
Well, we have winged the whole thing, haven't we?
Oh, we have
cables everywhere.
It's yes.
Cables and bits and pieces of tech and multiple windows, and we're trying.
Yeah.
We just want to make sure everyone's enjoying themselves here and learning how to draw comics on the fly with not knowing what the bloody hell's going on from the beginning. That's the whole point of it. You can all join in.
Oh yeah, any suggestions and could change the outcome of this.
That's right. You can change the table on the fly. I'll keep putting it all in. And we keep rolling the dice. And in the end, we'll have a good 3-page outline of something that could be something even bigger.
Oh, have you seen this? I haven't seen any actual episodes, but geez, I'd love to.
Let me guess what you're about to say.
Okay.
Primal.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yep, Tarkovsky's
Primal.
Yeah.
I have been thinking about it. I cannot wait to. What I'm thinking of doing though is waiting until every episode's complete.
Yeah, right.
Because I love watching these things in a marathon.
Yeah, right.
One after the other.
That would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
These kind of things I just hang for to become a marathon because I love them so much. And I saw his Clone Wars thing that he did years ago, which I still think is probably one of the best Star Wars things I've ever seen.
I actually haven't seen much of that. I've got to actually check it out. I do have the Samurai Jack DVD, but I haven't seen actually any of the new Samurai Jack stuff that he did.
Yeah. Samurai Jack's great, but this Clone Wars thing was just out of this world. I was shocked. It was full on. It was so intense, hardcore. The action was just and it was Clone Wars. It was amazing, and he definitely nailed it in that series. And when I heard about Primal, I'm like, yep, thank you.
Genndy Tarkovsky.
Genndy Tarkovsky.
That's his name. That's
So
why am
what's
I
happening
messing?
here? This is a very, very nasty looking minor bird partner
Yes, that was the one. She's just
who's come in and stolen the little raptor baby.
Yeah, and it's just
Oh, and he's
completely
about to
devouring it.
devour him.
It's all too late for this one. Okay, so let's finish drawing this one and move on to, let's make it look creepy here with some of this jungle stuff. It's meant to be creepy. It's not really that creepy, this story yet.
It's very natural, isn't it? But nature can be horrific.
Yeah,
It can be.
It's all a bit cute so far. I'm not really feeling much horror out of this.
Okay.
It's all a bit kind
It's all the funny bird
just a
pictures
bit,
that we've been. It's the funny bird pictures that I've been dumping on you, isn't it? Rosellas.
It's actually a bit comic. We've got, no pun intended. We've got like this looks funny with the, but that is brutal. That is brutal. Okay.
I think the comedy element's definitely the raptor running around in the background chasing the other.
Yeah.
But that's the surprise, isn't it? Because look at the buddy, the other vicious prehistoric minor bird buddy that's come out of nowhere to grab the baby. That's not good. That's got to be a bit of horror.
Yeah, but I think we can bring this right around any second because we only have a couple of frames to do this.
Yeah.
And
you're right about the cute element. Obviously, the little baby poking its head through the shell. It's always going to be cute, and it just makes this bit all the more nasty when you see this thing.
You're right. And then
this thing, devour it. We're going to save it. Are we going to save it?
Well, now we're going to have this one look back in desperation.
It's war.
Old mama.
Remember, it's war.
Yeah. And why is that the right colour? Go. And oh, that's not right.
Oh, am I going to guess what you're doing? I'm tempted to just keep completely quiet now, because I have a feeling that we may have some form of collective brainstorm happening here without saying anything.
Oh, what you could do is, I've got an idea that if you want to tell me a good idea without spoiling it for the folks who are probably going to be able to guess anyway, is I accidentally rolled some dice. Then that's.
Oh, you've done it again.
What's that?
There we go.
In the little in the Skype window, buddy, Mr. D-Man.
Okay.
Type me your idea because it may be different. It may be different, and I would really, if we can surprise anybody, then that would be good. Punchline would be awesome.
There it is. There's the message.
Yeah.
What I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Am I guessing right?
Yeah. Everyone.
See?
Has anyone else
guessed
it?
I read your mind. I read your mind about Primal, and I read your mind about what you're about to do.
Yeah.
Collective collaboration. Psychic collective collaboration. How's that?
That's how it works. It's like Jung. It's like Jung talent time, isn't it?
Oh dear. No, that's good. That's good. That'll be a good way to finish up, I think. And we're about to find out what that is.
In fact, I could do a whole bunch of birds here, all pecking in.
Oh, yeah.
Into the nest. Oh, the nest. Oh, you know what? I'm such an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my continuity? This.
Oh, it's that way. Yeah.
But the nest was up a tree.
It's up in a tree, isn't it?
And then I've had it down on the ground.
Maybe it fell off the... Yeah, when the... Okay. How do we fix this? We wipe the tree out, don't we?
Yeah. I mean, this happened from one frame to another. I mean, this is not good. This is a bad situation.
Can it be a suspension of disbelief, though? I mean, if you just, add a few textures around it, and it could be anywhere. It's just one frame to be fixed, and your problem's solved.
It's jumping over. It's jumping over that thing.
Yeah. Exactly and in that frame above it, I suppose you can probably clean up that little rough bit that's popping out the middle. Yeah.
And I can just have this one jumping over the log.
Oh, of course.
The
importance of working in layers.
Well.
Oh, you got some shadow though.
That's okay. I'll make another layer.
Mm-hmm.
And then.
Oh, nice one.
And then here, I will. So.
Good.
I'm here.
Or you could have gotten rid of that entire tree branch.
It's nice that it's It's nice that it's leaping though.
Yeah. We've got an action-packed raptor, so yeah.
Action raptor.
Action raptor. I suppose you could convert that bit of rough to the right of that frame as the nest on that angle. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm loving the textures. I really am. Those highlights. The God rays coming through. There's something about them that makes it nice and unique.
It takes a little while for this. Well, until I get the computer back working nicely again.
You've got a delay on the pen, haven't you?
Yeah, when I go for the big brushes, it sort of has a bit
right,
of it goes, no, I don't like that. Just exactly like that. That's what it says.
Yeah.
Computer says, don't like that. All right, so I think we have. I mean, it's a little bit messy, but we've obfuscated. I love that word. Obfuscated the nest problem. The nest problem.
Yeah, I think so. That's fine.
All right. Okay, moving on.
Back to page 3.
Back to page 3.
War. It's war.
It's war.
It's war.
And these are the birds that they just. It's like a massacre. They're just. They're just showing down into these eggs.
Probably get some friction lines going. Yeah.
Can't really tell what's going on here, but I guess you get the idea. You can see that they're birds, I think.
Yeah. All of it can be touched up later.
Yes.
And we are getting close to the time.
Close to time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we've only got one frame, so that's
Yeah.
okay. Quickly now. And wrapping it up with one more frame.
Hmm?
Try and get some more essence of the jungle in there.
Yes, that's good. I like that. Again, backgrounds can always be left for last.
Yes, we can come back to this later.
Mm-hmm. Main thing is just getting them 3 pages down. Rough. To the point and ready. Ready to rumble with.
I need one more, actually.
You want 2 more frames to emphasize the finale? Okay.
I guess so, because I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing yet. How am I going to get this to happen?
Well, we know what's going to happen. It's just a matter of getting it down.
Ah.
All right. That's another bit of psychic collective collaboration there that I've just sent you.
Yes. Exactly.
I thought so. Just checking.
This is the kind of thing that you actually normally in a film you could have many panels to get this done.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try and okay. I may have underestimated how I would.
Right. Very good. Yeah. That's it.
I think we've got it.
Yeah.
And now we can have the horror, I guess, as well.
It's been pretty horrific on this page outright.
It is. It's pretty gruesome, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Final panel.
Yeah.
And everyone knows what's happening here.
I gather everyone will know what's happening now. It's kind of a bit like how we started this, isn't it? We didn't know who was going to be the hunter or the hunted, and now we've got them both.
We did.
Hunters and hunted again. And it's just all horror in the end.
Yes, it's full the horror of it all, the horror of nature.
So multiple velociraptors come in. All these prehistoric minor birds get obliterated.
And what were you saying about
they take revenge on me.
Yeah.
a billion years later and swoop me and cut me on the face, even though I've got nothing to do with their problems.
So it's funny that you were saying about camp, what's it called? Sunny Bank or whatever?
Camp Crystal Lake.
Crystal Lake. Yeah, and how you wanted them all to...
Yeah, that's what we watched it for, to see the
but they have to be
phenomenal, gruesome murders.
They have to be, deserving, don't they? They have to...
Well, yeah, I mean, Jason was hard done by. We already knew what his revenge motives were. But this is different. This is obviously...
That's the word, transgression. They have to transgress. I saw the other night on Netflix, even though I've seen it before a couple of times. It's a beauty. It's about the very topic of horror, and transgression is the key issue.
Yeah.
Cabin in the Woods. There's
it's a
comedy.
Great movie.
There's a comedy and a horror all at the same time, and they walk the fine line.
Yeah.
Because it is like a comedy that...
Yeah,
but
it's
not actually... It's more like it's neither of them. It's very, very good, I think. Some people don't like it. But it's neither a comedy or a horror, but it's about both of it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Great movie.
The Buckmans. That's the family of zombies that are hired to or chosen to take the Camp Crystal Lake kiddies to task. So not a great last frame, this, but
it's getting maybe a little more.
It's something really wrong with that. It's got to be brutal. It's got to be horror. Let's do this again. I know it's the legacy. We have to finish this properly. So that... Okay. Wings. Sorry that I backed out on that frame, but here's another one in here. This one was quite good though, I think, staying like this. I'll just do it very silhouetted.
Right.
And a bit more brutal looking.
Nothing like a vicious finale. Oh, they all get a nice feast out of it.
They do. This looks a bit happy. Hang on. It's actually pretty hard to do this. How am I going to do this one?
It's the timing as well, you got to do it quick.
There we go. And all around the nest here.
Mm-hmm.
They planned it all along.
They did.
The babies were just a lure.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. I mean, originally they were going to eat their own babies. That was the plan, but
They're nasty.
But Joanne here had a better one. So
yeah, she's worked it out.
Yeah, lure the minor birds back for a feast.
Wow, there it is.
I can get that bird. Come on, get it right. It's treading on the last one. All right. Well, I think we get the idea. We can fix this up another time if we ever visit back to it.
Well, this is it. It's all there.
If anyone votes for this one to get cleaned up, then
cleaned up and made into a longer, more fleshed out thing.
Maybe one day.
Well, let's recap it. Let's go back to page 1 when you're ready.
Okay.
Get a bit of background roughage going.
Okay, if that makes any sense at all, let's have a look.
Right.
First of all, we have our Velociraptor rocking through the jungle. She comes up to her eggs.
We started off with Joy.
Yes.
For our story beat, and then we.
It looks like she's going to eat those eggs, doesn't it? But then we see it's a Velociraptor. So
yeah,
that's
we got a little baby happening.
Yeah.
Popping out. So on the second page, we focused on loss.
And then
for our middle beat, which was this strange bird, which we kept pushing to be a minor bird, a prehistoric minor bird, and even though they probably don't exist, whatever. But
I'm not really obsessed with the minor bird. It was
no, it's just me. I'm terrified of them, so yeah, I've just kept them in my mind. But anyway, and yeah, so Joanne, the Velociraptor, decides to trick it by chasing it. I think was what
we don't know what it's doing. We don't know. All we know is that it's gone after the other bird. There's no trickery to our minds right here, and obviously her young'un gets eaten. She looks.
So the element of loss has occurred with the baby being taken, and then on the final beat we've got war, all-out war. They thought that they were smart, and turns out that the raptors were smarter, and it's just all out. There you go. Yep, well done,
The bird eats the baby. The Velociraptor sees the massacre, but then the massacre is on again when more raptors turn up and massacre the massacrers.
Sounds like horror to me.
It's horrific, and that is the end of our PageBlast for this week.
Absolutely. Great working with you as usual. You're very well done, considering that we thought this was going to be easy. It sort of was, but it sort of wasn't, right?
It worked out really well. I'm very happy that we had such a nice little progression. There's nothing weird about this one. No robots and monkeys. And thank you very much, D-Man, and I'll see you for
You're welcome.
Next week's PageBlast.
Next week's episode.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
See you later. Bye.